Welcome back to Bristol. Lincoln City head coach Mark Kennedy with me. A tough one to take for all their possession. They hadn't made Lucas made a save in the second half.
No, which doesn't surprise me because I think we're good at that. I've seen the possession stats. They don't really bother me because at the end of the day we were 1-up. They literally had 4 or 5 players on the back line. Rico was running on fumes. Some real tired legs out there. I was really worried about the game, especially playing Blackpool at home, Sheffield United away, a Leicester Wednesday game day, Leicester recover a huge trip down here. It was a game I was personally really worried about. It's a brilliant point. It would have been amazing if we'd have had 3 because it was so late in the game, but no complaints. Thought draw was probably a fair result. I thought Joey's team deserved that. Probably disappointed in the manner it's a set piece and it's a late one because there's so much to organise. You have to take ownership, and I haven't actually seen it back. But it's been an amazing week for us. We've been excellent.
Absolutely, 4 points, and obviously the cup as well. And in a way, it's the order of the goals, isn't it? Is how you feel. Like you can see the disappointment with the players. If it'd been the other way around and they'd scored and celebrated an away point, it would feel very different.
Yeah, and look, when you look at the game as well, in terms of Lucas made one really good save. I think it was from John Marquis, from a header. I think it was him. But actually, Lass had 2 one-on-ones. Thought Lass was really good today. I wouldn't criticise him. I'd need to see it back, but I thought on the first one I'd need to see again, but I think if he squares it, Ethan Hamilton's got a tap in. So we've in key moments, which we're very good at, their keepers pulled off 2 outstanding saves. One was at 1-0, 2-0 game's over, and the other one was pretty much the last kick of the game. So there's lots to be positive about. Lots to be positive, lots of really good performance. Alistair coming in, playing as a 7 in the pocket, really impressive, gave us a real tactical discipline. And even when I switched him over from 7 to 11, showed his qualities again. Jaden coming on was excellent, made a difference. And again, Joe Vaughan's had another 15 minutes, which is really good for him. So, barring the late goal, it was a great week. And actually, it's a positive day with a home game coming up as well.
Yeah, I mean, you had to do it with your 2 main strikers as well.
Yeah, and they are top. They're 2 of the best strikers in the league. So, but you've asked me the question. That's life. That's the way it is. We don't bleat about it, but you're right. Can't argue with that.
Yeah, but I think you're a bit like me. You're a cup half full type of person, and that's the way to view it, isn't it?
I am if there's vodka in it.
I can sort that out for you later on. Anyway, let's just go through a few things off the pitch as well. 3 players not available. I know you mentioned it in the pre-match, but first of all, your club captain, that's an illness.
So Paudie's got tonsillitis. I think it was Tuesday. He woke up pretty bad, been to the doctors. So at least with his free week next week, he should be okay. Ben's got a hip impingement, so I think he had a scan yesterday, or he's having one Monday. Apologies, I don't know what the outcome is that. And Tyler's got a small grade 1 tear in his hamstring, and we're hoping he'll be back for Carlisle.
And does the fact you've now got a blank week because of the international, whilst you'd like to have the momentum, I guess it gives you a chance after a really frenetic run of games to have a break? Yeah,
to be honest, I've got 2 train of thought. I'm actually really disappointed the game's off because I didn't like last year. We spent most of the season with 2 and 3 games in hand, and I'd rather try and get points on the board, and I think we're in a really good place. But I think the lads need a rest. They're not out on the feet, but they've been absolutely maximised. They're flat out. I look at Jack Burrows today at the end of the game, he's running on empty, as were lots of other players. So I think the week will give everybody a chance to recharge, and it gives us a chance to get players fit, and it gives us a chance, when you go Saturday, Tuesday, you actually miss out on training days, and sometimes players can become detrained. So I think it's arguably come at the right time.
I saw you in the hotel yesterday with the earpiece in. Obviously the transfer window was busy, and we now know it's resulted in a player coming in.
Yeah, really pleased to get Jack in. Just for those that don't know, he's got an injury, and it'll be mid-September when he comes back. But we're signing an excellent talent, a really good player. For those that might worry about that, I look at Josh Corbin, what he did last year. Signed for his club injured and went on to have an outstanding season. So the bigger picture is getting a really talented player for a long period of time. I think that's what we've got. So really pleased with Jack, and look forward to him meeting up with the group.
Yeah, my son Rose today, John Finnegan, who's standing behind, he joined Lincoln actually injured and had a 4-year career at Lincoln, so it doesn't matter always, does it?
No, and I believe he was brilliant as well.
He was. You actually nutmegged him as well, you have to not. apparently. That's right, John? Yeah.
I didn't know
In
that.
a junior game.
I remember you won't.
Apologies.
But yeah, so obviously bring him in. Does that mean that Jovan might have to go on loan? Because he's kind of the third slot at the moment.
Yeah, look, today's not that conversation without avoiding the question. Jovan needs to play football. The most important thing is that the most important thing for Jovan is that we develop him and what's best for Jovan. If that's to go out on loan, we'll make that decision. We'll have a conversation about it, but I don't think that's really for today, so apologies for that.
And just on Hakeem, obviously hasn't gone, but as I understand it, loans are still possible to National League below and possibly abroad.
Yeah, it's not something I've stayed out of that situation. Hax has been a superb person and player since I've come back. He's trained well, he's done everything professionally, he hasn't complained, he's been a real credit to himself. My conversations with Hack were private, we'll revisit that. It's not something that today all I wanted to do was think about the game. I've not spoke to anybody at the club, I've not spoke to anybody, so when I woke up this morning the guys are saying Hacks has stayed in and stuff. I was like, no idea, I've not spoke to anybody, so that's one we'll revisit next week, but he's been a real credit to himself.
Just finally, obviously had that moment with the away fans. You gave them a night to remember on Wednesday. Great things to look forward to West Ham, and obviously it's important to recognise them after a long journey. We all know how bad it was coming down here.
Yeah, look, I keep saying I feel a bit embarrassed when you keep asking me this question because I don't want to be a creepy manager on the side, but I'll answer your question. They've been incredible, and a huge part of our success and our winning and our being unbeaten and the run we've been on in cups, we can't do it without fans. It's not a coincidence that our home record is so outstanding. It doesn't take a rocket science to work out the importance of how much the players connect with them and feed off them. So a huge thank you to them for travelling here. I know it's a long journey, especially football's so expensive, 3,000 at Sheffield, paying extra money for an extra game, then travelling here. Some people will have to stay overnight. We really are truly grateful, so a huge thank you to all the fans and also to the fans that are not here today, because everybody plays their part.
And I sort of saw it and I was like, football and learning. Because I like a lot of football and what we get is quite a lot of football, so it's really good. Definitely encourage other people, because I'm in a situation where I might even want to go into the police force, and even though you're doing your sport, you're still getting your football, you're still getting your 3A levels out of it, so you can actually get your UCAS points or get your 3A levels to go on to even different courses, as long as you've got your grades as well as playing football. So it's sort of like it's just a good course to do, I think.